Good morning, everybody. Hey, didn't see you there. Welcome back, everyone, to the Morning Buzz. I'm George Jim Gochin, and I'm joined by my co-host
Leslie Gallagher.
and our newscaster.
Kenny Horn.
And today is September 18th. Thank you for joining us today. It's a little chilly outside. It's getting gradually chilly as the fall weather progresses. I'm wearing my fleece in case you can't see, and Leslie's wearing her turtleneck. So
I'm wearing
yeah,
a
it's
turtleneck.
all yeah.
I never wear turtlenecks.
Yeah, mainly you're just wearing like a sweatshirt, but hey, it's okay. You're switching things up, I see.
I actually bought this sweater for back to school season because I wanted a cute outfit for school. And then all my classes went virtual, and I never got to wear the sweater, so I'm wearing it now.
Well, it's
For all
great, yeah. And we're also
live.
streaming. Yeah, and we're streaming live on Facebook now too, so you can show it off. So that's awesome. Yeah, all right. So welcome back to the Morning Buzz, and thank you for joining us today.
Yes, so George and Kenny, we are officially 4 weeks into what most of us like to call Zoom University, which means I've been sitting in my house staring at a laptop for about a month straight. And I should probably go for a walk and take up some exercise, but I just haven't.
Hmm.
So that's how college has been going for me so far. How is it going for you, George and Kenny?
Well, um, it's same old, same old. I mean, it's different than what we're usually accustomed to, especially since of the protocols we have to follow. But it's all for our safety. Like I like the guidelines that have been set. Anytime I go to Panther Athletic Center to shoot a story on the athletic department, you get screened, and also when you take the shuttle onto campus, you have to sit in a seat that's not marked, 6 feet out, if you know what I mean. They have like little markings that say you can't sit here, sit somewhere else. So all this social distancing stuff is going on very well. Um, the one thing I wish is just I want to see all my friends again here. I want to see everyone from the radio station again. I miss you guys.
Same.
Ryan, he's not here, but he's Ryan Trick, our beautiful, our beloved, our talented morning bus producer. I want to see you in person again. So, but yeah. Anyway, Kenny, what about you?
I definitely feel you, Leslie, about exercising. I've been saying I'm going to do it for the past, I don't know, 4 months at least. Still haven't done it. I'll get to it eventually. Not worried about it. Other than that, you know, technology can be difficult. I mean, right now, we're on camera today and my camera isn't working for me. But I mean, all around though, as much as there are difficulties with it, like
Hmm.
George said, it's for our safety. And even if there are problems with it, it's definitely, in my opinion, the optimal thing to do, especially if it's keeping anybody safe.
Yeah.
Especially for me, I'm like I've mentioned in past shows, I'm immunocompromised. It's
hmm
important for me to have this option.
And the good thing is that we're still doing radio, and
Yeah.
that's honestly like it gives me something to look forward to. So I can't even complain. If we weren't doing radio, I'd probably be like really sad just like doing schoolwork, but like I get to do like this fun work with you guys. So I don't know. It's just, it's okay. We have something to be passionate about. We have something to look forward to. And we got news to deliver.
Hmm. We have a job to do. Let's get down to business. Dun da da
Go
da
for
da.
it.
Da.
Today on the Morning Buzz, we'll talk about a new pop-up restaurant in New Jersey, women in sports media, and a virtual version of the Emmys. This morning, we're also joined by Thomas Nera, who will be doing an entertainment segment at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. But before we move on, here's Kenny Horn with his newscast. Take it away, Kenny.
Thank you, Leslie. In international news this morning, there are over 30 million cases of the coronavirus around the world. Half of that count is from the US, India, and Brazil alone. The new tally shows an increase of 10 million in just over a month. According to the Associated Press, the count may be higher as researchers are sometimes behind the total number of cases reported by country. For national news, an Alaskan dentist who pulled a patient's tooth while on a hoverboard has been sentenced to prison. Seth Lockhart will be spending his next 12 years in jail after being convicted of 46 felonies and misdemeanors. According to CNN, Lockhart has unlawfully performed anesthesia thousands of times, stole money from Medicaid, and embezzled from his bosses. Prosecutors are also hoping for the court to force Lockhart to pay over $2 million for his stolen money. For New Jersey news, teen pleads guilty in shooting of a high school student. Alonzo Legrand admits he pulled the trigger on a Brick Memorial High School student. He is the second person associated with this crime to plead guilty. Legrand faces 10 years in state prison for causing the student's injuries. According to the Ocean County Prosecutor's Office, his sentencing will take place on November 20th. In Montclair news, there is a COVID outbreak in a retirement home. According to the Montclair Local, Montclair Manor has come down with 23 cases and 2 deaths from the virus. The manor is the only home with the current outbreak out of the 10 in the township. There are also 8 other retirement homes in Essex County that are fighting outbreaks. And for the weather, it is partly cloudy today with a high of 69 and a low of 46. There is a 10% chance of rain along with an 83% humidity for the day. And also, the sun will be setting at 6:59 p.m.
Thank you very much, Kenny. Very much. Our wonderful newscaster, who is also a fellow Beatles fan. I had to get that out there. Last show, we were playing Beatles songs at the end of the show, and I'm so delighted that you shared the love of the Fab Four like I do. So,
You guys had a real bonding moment. It was nice. to
all right. So, ready for the first story, y'all?
I'm ready, and it's about food, and I'm hungry, so that's probably bad. But take it away, George.
All right, let's do it. This is the signal that we're about to. Yeah. All right. So Kevin Smith, as we know, is a famous director who yields from New Jersey. He is from Red Bank, and he's bringing Mooby's, the fictional restaurant from his 1999 movie Dogma, to his old stomping grounds as he takes over the home of Gianni's Pizzeria for a week starting Friday. From a week starting Friday. Smith is a Monmouth County native filmmaker and a podcast magnate. Smith said, quote, "The fact that it's here in this building is incredibly meta for me. Last time I was in this building, I was 9 or 10, unquote. The site is a former Burger King he would frequent as a child on the hunt for collectible Star Wars glasses in the late 70s and early 80s. Derek Berry, co-owner of the pop culture pop-up eatery, is inspired by nostalgic properties such as Saved by the Bell and All That. Partnered with Smith, co-star Jason Mewes, and producer Jordan Masanto to make Mooby's a reality first this summer in Los Angeles and now in Red Bank.
For just $28, the movie pickup Mooby's. See, now I'm messing up the word too. Mooby's pickup experience available for either takeout or outdoor patio dining includes a choice of a main dish and side created by executive chef Royce Burke of Secret Lasagna in Los Angeles, with soda, dessert, and merchandise available for purchase. Smith has been vegan since 2018, and Mooby's offers both vegan and non-vegan food. For those of you in other cities, good news. Smith and Berry confirmed that Mooby's pop-up experience will travel to other cities after its week-long Red Bank residency.
All right. Yeah. So in case, okay, we here in Jersey take our Jersey residents who are celebrities very, very proudly. I mean, if you're a music, well, I mean, okay, let's put it this way. For music, Jersey has Bruce Springsteen and John Bon Jovi. For sports, Jersey has Vince Lombardi and Bill Parcells. For inventions, we have Thomas Edison. And for movies, we have the great Kevin Smith. And for him to bring something from his movie to his stomping ground, you know, I think I can't wait for it. I would like to go there one day.
You think it'll swing by your town?
I'm from North Jersey, so it's gonna be a little bit more of a drive for me. But you know, I'm not open to it. That's a double negative. I'm open to it. That's what I should be saying. But knowing, you know, hey, WMSC, we took a trip down to Red Bank to a record store. Maybe we can do a show live from there. You never know.
Oh, that's an adorable idea. I didn't know you guys did that.
Yeah.
That's really cute, like a little field trip for the radio station.
Yeah, totally.
That's
Pam
fun.
Burrows and Austin Jeffers, our previous music directors, were on that trip. And, you know, I think Red Bank, I mean, what would you call that? Central Jersey or South Jersey? Because that borders the shore.
I
So.
have to look at a map because I don't even know where that is.
Oh, okay.
That's tough.
I've been there one time to one fancy restaurant, and that's it. I just went there
See,
one
I'm
time.
from South Jersey, so to me, that is North Jersey.
Red Bank? Really?
Yeah, kind of, because I feel like my area is Central Jersey, because I'm in Ocean County.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like, personally for me, like, I think that area, Point Pleasant, Bayhead, Lavalette, I thought that would be more of South Jersey. But, I mean, if you lived there, then I wouldn't doubt you on that at all. So.
Well, it's very relative.
Mm-hmm.
Like you would see it as South Jersey because you're from up north. It's odd. And some people don't think Central Jersey exists, and they are.
Well, it exists
Yes,
because
exactly.
I don't even know why there's a debate that existed long before the debate even existed. I'm gonna put that out there.
George, you might upset some people.
Hey, you know what? It's my opinion. I mean, all opinions are that of WMSC talents and not of WMSC itself. But anyway, um, but yeah, like I mean, Kevin Smith is if you don't know, he's a very creative guy. Like he's also he's also a huge like fan of comic books and like Star Wars and all this stuff. Like he we can I can totally relate to him. So I think with that I think it's really cool that he's actually making a restaurant where it's made from his movie. And I mean, maybe we could see Silent Bob in action there, maybe behind the kitchen, or maybe serving at the cash register, saying, he'll try and find a way to say, hey, may I take your order, without saying anything, which is just gonna be great. So
I wonder how that would work. I always find it really nice when New Jersey celebrities, they get all famous, but then they always like come back to their roots. Like
Mhm.
there's so many of them who do that. Like they'll come and like play at stadiums here if they're into music, or they'll do something like Smith is doing here. It's just nice because it's like I know a lot of people like trash on New Jersey, but like we got some good people here for
We got some
real.
good people, yeah, some great people here in the Garden State. And I don't know. Well, Leslie, Kenny, okay, a question all around. Who's your favorite New Jersey celebrity?
Probably Bruce Springsteen.
Who? I
Bruce,
didn't hear.
Bruce.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. I'll make an exception to that.
I just grew up with his music,
Mhm.
so she's a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
Oh, John Travolta.
Ah, okay. I
I'm a
see.
big movie guy.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, Staying Alive or Saturday Night Fever, Pulp Fiction, Welcome Back, Cotter. Yeah, I can totally get that.
Yeah.
My
What
personal
about you?
Oh yeah, well, my personal favorite New Jersey celebrity, before we move on, is Derek Jeter. He was born in Pequannock. He moved to Kalamazoo, Michigan when he was a kid, but he is a New Jersey born and bred nonetheless, and he is born in the Garden State. So
He is?
yeah.
I
Mhm.
had no
I
idea.
changed my answer.
You're a Yankee fan?
Yes.
Hmm. All right. Very good. Speaking of baseball,
Ooh, good
yeah.
transition.
Wow.
Speaking of sports,
Orioles announcer Melanie Newman joins small club of female play-by-play voices. So Melanie Newman, in case you don't know, so she is one of the new announcers for the Baltimore Orioles. And the setting, okay, let's set the scene here. Melanie Newman walked into a silent Camden Yards devoid of any human souls, but the security guards, her broadcast partner Jeff Arnold, and their sound engineer. The setting was so unusual that she did not have much cause to contemplate her small revolution, to imagine all the years I would be hearing an Orioles game narrated by a female voice for the first time. The on-air light flashed as she went up and called another ball game. When Newman called a Salem Red Sox game last year with her friend Susie Cool, a pack of reporters showed up to chronicle the first all-female booth in baseball history. But thanks to the COVID pandemic, there was no such hullabaloo last month when she became the first woman to handle play-by-play on an Orioles game. That was just fine with the 29-year-old Georgian, who is proud of what she's accomplished but does not want her story to eclipse the game she's broadcasting on a given night.
for all the battles that women have fought to carve out a vital place in sports media, you can still count on one hand, the female announcers who have called play-by-play on Major League Baseball broadcast. The current roster includes Susan Waldman, who called her first New York Yankees game in 1992, and Jen Kavnar with the Colorado Rockies, and Jessica Mendoza, who works as an analyst, I always say that word wrong, analyst on ESPN's national telecasts. The women in this small club, emphasis on small, have become used to demeaning comments, far worse from fans who say they are not comfortable with a female voice bringing the games into their homes night after night. Susan Waldman actually had to exit stadiums with a security detail when she began reporting on the Yankees in the late 80s. Fans did not welcome her at all, and today she still feels like more or less simply tolerated but not quite accepted. To fellow women, Waldman's wise words are, quote, "If you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, I have something that nobody else has, then keep going, unquote.
Yeah, and look, coming from a baseball fan and a sports fan in general who also wants to be a sportscaster, I would like to see more women in play-by-play roles. I think it's great, and I've worked with a lot of great women who, in the sports media field here at Montclair State. Just to go off the top of my head, Paige Godolewski, who was here my freshman year as a producer for WMC Sports. Catherine Pace, who's also one of the new batch of WMC Sports broadcasters. Gabby Tancredi, who is a producer and also a reporter. And I think it's great because honestly, if you're a woman, you don't really have. I haven't seen a lot of females that taken that role. Especially in a male-dominated industry like sportscasting. But when you see a female become a sportscaster, especially play-by-play, you want to root for him, and I think that's great that it's finally taking hold for the Baltimore Orioles, especially since, I mean, Gary Thorne, who's personally my favorite broadcaster of all time, those are big shoes to follow, but nonetheless, I'm rooting for her.
Yeah, I'm also very happy about it. And if anyone remembers last week, we talked about women in media. And now we're talking about women in specifically sports media. And, we've got this, running theme, about how, women are underrepresented as, as well as other groups. But I'm talking about women. And, the most interesting thing I found about this story is that fans were uncomfortable with hearing a female voice. Like, can we just think about that for a minute? Like, isn't that a little insane? It's just a voice. It's like you're still getting your sports. Does it I don't understand. Like, are the sports valued less because they're narrated by a woman? I don't understand. But I hope people come around because I don't know. It seems a little silly to me. If you like sports and you want to be a sportscaster, go for it. It doesn't matter if you're a woman or if you're a man. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever you identify as. You gotta do what you gotta do. I'm honestly really proud of her becoming a play-by-play voice. Is it called? I don't know.
Yeah, play-by-play. So play-by-play, really quick. Here's a lesson for all y'all. So play-by-play is someone that says, okay, here's the first pitch, strike, count as 0-1. And a color commentary is like, well, oh yeah, that was a great play by the third baseman. He went the other way and he made a great play going to his left. So
What's the difference? They sound the same to me. I'm sorry.
well, so play-by-play talks more and color gives just added commentary. So they have to answer the question why. Why did they make a great play?
Analysis.
Yeah.
On
So
the spot. Okay. So I guess people have an issue with a female talking during their broadcast the whole time, as if they know less about sports. I mean, they got that position for a reason. They obviously know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm disheartened. Kenny, what do you think?
It's just, like you said, just disoriented. It doesn't make any sense. If you're good at what you do, your gender or race, shouldn't really matter for what you do. Just your job, your anything, really. It doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. It doesn't matter. You should, if you know what you're doing and you're good at what you're doing, you're passionate about what you're doing, and you're hardworking, it doesn't matter who you are. You just gotta go out and do that thing. And when reading the article, there's some details that I did leave out when editing it because it was not super appropriate for air. But some of these female, women in media, sports media, sorry, they would receive like these awful things in the mail that I don't want to say, but like just awful. And I just need you to trust me. And it's obviously very unaccepting and unwelcoming. And getting those kinds of things from fans, like that's got to be disheartening. Like imagine you worked your entire way up to this point to be, this female woman in media. Sorry, I don't even know play-by-play, whatever. You work so hard to get to that point and you get that job and then you have a bunch of fans who hate you because you're a woman.
you know what?
So sad.
I mean, I think as long as you're really good at your job and as long as you're able to build a trust with the fans, I think with Susan Waldman, I think look, I mean, from Yankee fans, I mean, they like to rib on Susan Waldman because she has some calls that are like, "Oh, Roger Clemens is back." Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I like Susan Waldman. She has a great relationship with the players, and she tells stories with them, during the broadcast, and she seems like a sweet lady. So I like Susan Waldman. I think she's a great addition to John Sterling, and she definitely, and also for all you Montclair people, she's the one that orchestrated the reunion of George Steinbrenner and Yogi Berra right here on the campus of Montclair State University at the Yogi Berra Museum. So yeah, good thanks to Susan Waldman right there.
Yeah, apparently a while back, people were getting upset at the first female ref in the NFL. So I guess it's like, a similar pattern. Sexism is just prevalent in sports media, in media in general, in all parts of life. And it doesn't make any sense because a lot of women are huge sports fans. So maybe they don't make up the majority, but there are a lot of women who do love sports. So I don't know, maybe we're seeing some internalized misogyny as well. And that's very possible growing up in the society that we do.
Yeah. It's
To get
weird.
more deep, just in case anyone wanted that for their Friday morning.
It's weird because like I'm not the biggest sports fan, I'll admit that. I like football primarily. I like football a lot. But if I were to become a broadcaster for sports, which I wouldn't because I don't know my stuff, it would be accepted, even though there are thousands and thousands of women who I guarantee know more than me. And
And no one would blink an eye at you because
exactly, I could not even be saying the right thing.
Mhm. Imagine if you did an entire broadcast wrong, Kenny, and like people would still prefer that over like a woman doing it correctly. Like people would actually prefer that. Some people.
Insane.
As someone that has made some mistakes on the air while calling the game, I could totally relate to that. So, yeah. Pronouncing names wrong. I mean, I have to speak for myself because my last name is very mispronounceable. So,
I hear you say it every week for the past 5 or 6 months, and I still get tripped up on your last name, George.
When I first saw it, I thought it was Jim Goshian.
Yeah, see? Jim Goshian. It's like you see, it has a good rhythm to it, Jim Goshian,
Wait, is that what it is?
Yeah, Jim Goshian, you said it right.
I thought it was Jim Goshian, like you emphasize the I.
I mean, you can tomato tomato. I mean, you're seeing it close enough where I'm able to be approved of it. It's not. I mean, I've had people say Jem Gotchian, Jem Gokian.
Huh?
Yeah. So
You can't mess my name up.
yeah, Kenny Horn. Simple.
If
Don't
I
like
met-
my name, but you can't mess it up.
Yeah, we were talking about this before the show too. How people say my name wrong.
Leslie.
Leslie.
Yeah. So there's like less and then Lee, like less of Lee. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm here with the dad jokes all day. I can. Hey, I was wondering why. I was wondering why the frisbee was getting bigger, and then it hit me. Ah, get it?
No.
I was wondering why the frisbee was getting bigger, and then it hit me.
Oh.
I think we should stop his dad jokes before he keeps making them and move on to the next story.
Fine. He's just being George.
Yeah.
He's been doing this longer than me, so I guess gotta trust him and his dad jokes. Well, speaking of dads,
The what?
let's talk about kids. Did you see?
Okay.
Did you see where I'm going with this? No.
All right. Well, you know what? I'll allow that segue.
Wasn't
okay.
too bad.
Leslie, it's okay. Hey, you're good.
It was just unexpected, but it wasn't that bad.
Unexpected, but yeah, it's okay. Let's
Okay.
speak.
For context, our next story is about Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
And now everyone's like, oh, okay. So anyways, Chuck E. Cheese wants to destroy 7 billion prize tickets. So sad. This might qualify as a kid's wildest dreams. A mountain of 7 billion Chuck E. Cheese prize tickets. It's enough to fill 65 shipping containers, each 40 feet long, with tiny pieces of paper with the image of the Chains mascot rat named Chuck, and enough to cash in for $9 million in Chuck E. Cheese prizes. But soon enough, those tickets could be destroyed without ever getting into the eager, pizza-stained hands of the eatery's young customers.
The chain, whose parent company filed for bankruptcy earlier this week, asked a bankruptcy court judge for permission to spend more than $2 million to purchase and destroy the tickets, which were printed before the June bankruptcy filing but never delivered. Even before the pandemic, the chain was shifting to e-tickets, which reduced wait times in chain's 612 locations and cut overall costs associated with the tickets. With the COVID-19 pandemic, the shift was accelerated to provide more contact-free service, but the rapid shift left its suppliers stuck with a mountain of 7 billion printed tickets that Chuck E. Cheese no longer wants or needs. Under bankruptcy law, a company must seek court permission to spend money on anything. Chuck E. Cheese's lawyers, there's lawyers for Chuck E. Cheese, all right, argue that it is better to pay to destroy tickets already produced than to risk having them fall in the hands of the general public. Okay, just to clarify, when
What
I
a
said
big risk to the general public.
yeah,
Extra tickets for children. I mean, I
Like-
guess it would be a profit loss, but like, I don't know. Is it that serious? I don't know.
I mean, I can't even remember the last time I went to Chuck E. Cheese to even remember what prizes they had where you can spend your tickets on. Like what, stress balls or I don't know.
Those
I've
sticky
never been there.
on your ceiling that the dentist gives you. Like I would imagine that's.
Yeah.
I honestly don't really remember Chuck E. Cheese as a child. I remember going, kind of, but not really. So
Their pizza is to me is like remnant of Domino's pizza. It's not good.
it's garbage.
Yeah.
Sometimes like a bad pizza is good though. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean, Kenny.
Like
I have
you're
that.
really going for the bad food, and it's perfect.
It's like it literally. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Sometimes bad tasting food kind of hits the spot because in a way, it's kind of good.
And usually it's late at night. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, it just hits the spot, you know? Like probably get roasted for this, but sometimes I enjoy Domino's pizza. I don't because
Okay. Leslie, you're the same person that said the best person that makes Italian food is your mom. I remember you saying
Very
that.
very, very true. She
Mm.
makes the best food. And I appreciate really good pizza, but sometimes you kind of just want to be chill and eat some like really bad food.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're in
Mom
New
makes pizza?
Jersey, I'm sorry, Kenny, go ahead.
Your mom makes pizza?
No, she doesn't make pizza, but she makes really, really good Italian food, at least in my opinion.
All right. Ask her to adopt me. I'm past 18, but
You
I
can
think
come
we
over
both-
Saturday. We're having meatballs.
Yes.
Are you having spaghetti too, or just meatballs?
Well, when my mom makes, she'll make like her gravy or her sauce, her red sauce, and then she'll make meatballs and then sausage, and then I think we'll probably have some pasta too, because meatball and sausage just by themselves would be kind of weird. But yeah,
Wow.
it's gonna be a good night.
Yeah. I don't know. Just personally, since I'm from New Jersey and there's like pizzerias all around you where it's actually good. Like there was no use to ever go to a Domino's or a Pizza Hut. You always go to your local pizzeria. You support your local businesses.
I do support my local businesses. Okay, I eat Domino's maybe like twice a year. Okay,
All right, good. That's
I'm serious. I don't need it that much. It's just
uh,
I'm like, I feel like eating pizza, but I don't feel like eating real pizza. And like, I don't really know how to explain that feeling because I know I'm from New Jersey. I was born and raised in New Jersey, and I'm supposed to not have that opinion, but I do. So here it is.
didn't you guys see on Twitter where Phil Murphy, the governor of New Jersey, came after the governor of Connecticut when he said that Connecticut pizza is the best, and he said stay in your lane.
You said Connecticut pizza is the best? Who would ever say that?
Like really,
I've never even been to Connecticut and eaten their pizza. I wouldn't even know, but I just know it's not as good as ours. Like,
Yeah.
pizza's like really dependent on water, which is weird because my oldest brother, he moved to Texas and he says the thing he misses most about New Jersey is pizza because there it's just the worst. But as much fun as it is talking about pizza, and I could talk about it forever.
Mm-hmm.
these tickets that are being used by Chuck E. Cheese, or being discontinued, I should say, they're still being currently honored by them, which is good. The ones that are in circulation, they may be getting rid of them, but they're not going to wipe it from a customer's account, for lack of a better term.
Hmm. Chuck E. Cheese is apparently trying to turn into the process of using e-tickets so that they can move towards contactless service due to COVID-19, which is actually a really good idea. And so I guess that's kind of what they mean when they say it would be, dangerous to release the extra tickets to the public, as in like maybe a lot of people have touched them and it would just not be safe if it fell into the hands of someone immune compromised or a child. So I guess I can kind of understand what they're saying. They're also trying to eliminate future costs. So yeah, eliminating paper tickets, trying to move to e-tickets. You guys have a lot of experience with Chuck E. Cheese. Would it be weird? Like thinking about your childhood as a child, would it be weird to use e-tickets instead of handing in those physical tickets?
Uh, I don't know. I think, I mean, I was so used to it growing up, but I don't see any difficulty in changing, you know. I just it's all right. If they want me to change it, I'll be fine doing it. It's all good.
Wait, but picture this. You earned like 1 million tickets at Chuck E. Cheese as a child and you have it on your mom's phone. As you're walking up to the ticket counter, ready to pick out your prize with your 1 million tickets, your mom's phone dies. Then what? First world children problems.
It's not the same, in my opinion. I live like 20 minutes from the Seaside Boardwalk, so growing
Oh, dude,
up, arcades everywhere all the time. But there's no better feeling as like a little kid when you're holding up like a stack of tickets that are so big you can't even hold them, and you
Aww.
walk up to the little thing. Now it's just like a phone. I mean, that's just my opinion, but still.
There was a little bit of pride. Like I don't really remember Chuck E. Cheese, but I remember going to arcades when I was a kid. There was like a little bit of pride walking around the arcade with all your tickets.
Yeah.
Like, and you're showing everyone like, look at all my tickets. If you have a phone, you're like, what, going around with your phone with like the number on it? Like it's not the same. I do like the concept of contactless though. It's just safer, and also kids just carry a lot of germs, so it's kind of better for corona, better for just like life without even corona. It's probably for the better, but the tickets are nostalgic.
Oh, I mean, the joy that you would have of going to the ticket muncher and putting the tickets in, and then, them counting up the tickets, and then you get to get a receipt with with the number that you have, and then you get to pick out your prize, and
I remember that. That was fun putting it into the machine. I
yeah.
don't know why I thought that was fun, because at the end you would see your number on the machine going like up and up and up, and you're like, oh yay, I get to get this prize now. Like, oh my god, nostalgic.
Yeah. Nostalgia. Pass it on.
Nostalgia, talking about pizza, talking about Chuck E. Cheese, but not Chuck E. Cheese pizza.
All right. Well, I mean, the nostalgia was great, but we have to move on now to something else. We're going to move on to the Emmys. So, live and virtual, what could possibly go wrong, right? So, this year, Jimmy Kimmel is hosting the very first virtual Emmys. Thankfully, for nominees, formal wear is totally optional. Kimmel, along with a few other celebrity guests, will attempt the live show, a live but socially distanced broadcast. There won't be a red carpet or a live audience, but all the suspense will still be there. Morgan Freeman, Lin-Manuel Miranda, Dean Nice, Patrick Stewart, and Oprah are among those with undisclosed roles in Sunday's show, along with Isabella the Alpaca. The HBO limited series Watchmen is the leading nominee, with star Regina King up for honors. Top comedy and drama series contenders include The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Succession, and Ozark. Jennifer Aniston and Steve Carell of The Morning Show are among those vying for acting trophies.
The Morning Show. Why isn't The Morning Buzz nominated? I'm a little hurt. I'm kidding.
Or radio, but
When you were about to say The Morning Show, I literally thought you were going to say The Morning Buzz, and I was like, hard to know. Anyways, the ceremony will highlight the television turf battle, with cable, streaming, and traditional broadcast networks constantly competing for recognition and viewers. The arrival of newcomers such as Apple TV Plus has certainly intensified the competition. When the winners' names are revealed, they'll deliver their speeches in the form of a glorified Zoom call, kind of like right now, which could make for a spontaneous moment unavailable in an in-person setting. For example, if someone's child or pet were to interrupt any speeches, the producers said they will just let it happen. They're trying to be open-minded with the endless possibilities of the night. To make the long-distance participation work and be broadcast worthy, over 100 units that include a high-end camera, lighting, and boom mic are being deployed to nominees scattered in 10 countries and 20 cities. How smoothly the show will flow ultimately is up to the internet connection of the nominees. One thing is for sure, this year's Emmys will be like no other.
Wow.
Before we get into this, I'd like to ask a quick question about it.
Go ahead, Kenny.
Who is Isabella the alpaca?
I don't know. I thought maybe you guys would know.
Mm-mm. Unfortunately. I mean,
Are you there? Yeah, I'm honestly not sure, but like when I was researching this topic in this article, they seem to make a very big deal about the Isabella the alpaca, and I'm honestly not really sure what it means, and I feel a little uncultured. Is there something we're missing, guys? I thought maybe at least one of you would
Or
know.
an actual alpaca?
I'm not sure. Maybe, but then how? There isn't a live audience, but there's an alpaca. That's interesting. I have to. This has to be some sort of like internet joke that we're not getting. Are we too old? Oh my god.
oh my God. I hope I'm not too old. Hey, you kids, you get off my lawn. What's this yik yak about Isabella the alpaca? Eh.
You're reminding me of like every cartoon ever, but also like the guy from Up.
So long, boys. Yeah.
Yeah, but I find it very cool, and I like the fact that they're trying to do like a virtual thing. They're sending lights and cameras, like professional equipment, to the nominees' houses. They get to be in their PJs. And also what's kind of cool is that like they could like be accepting their, award and making their speech with like their kids like next to them because it's like a Zoom call. And that's kind of sweet. It's like, and then you also see a glimpse of their home. It might be more personal than ever, which I don't know, it just seems like a good time. I might actually watch it this year.
And how are they going to get the awards too? I mean, they're going to give them out beforehand? Or are they going to have someone knock on their door and say, "Hey, here's your award," you know?
That would be,
Imagine it'd be mailed after or something. That's my guess.
yeah, maybe like mailed after, or maybe everyone is sent a fake award just in case they get it and they accept it on screen, but it's like made of like plastic and then they later get mailed one.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to watch and find out. That is something the article did not mention. But but yeah, what would be funny is like there's gonna be people who are sent like the cameras and lights and stuff, and they'll set it up, and then they might not win, which is kind of sad.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds pretty interesting. Imagine accepting a award in your pajamas, though, for real.
That's
Would you
honestly.
dress up, guys, if you were in a virtual nominee for the Emmys? Would you dress up or would you go PJ style? Let me know.
Dress up. I want to look presentable. I want to look flashy. You know.
Nah.
No.
No, I made it that far. I got nominated for an Emmy. I can do what I want.
All right. I would come out in like full Shakespearean dress, like with the collar and the and the tights and stuff. I don't know, looking like I came from Julius Caesar or something.
That would be interesting. See, I'd watch just for that. There was a rumor. George Kim Gochin. See, I said it wrong. George Jim Goshen. There's a rumor that he is wearing a Julius Caesar inspired outfit. I would
Yeah.
watch because I'd be like, oh, I know that guy. That's fine.
Yes, sir. Yes, absolutely. All right.
This up, honestly. Just to put on there, my answer is, here's my answer. I would do light makeup, put my hair up, wear a nice shirt, and sweatpants. That's my answer. Best of both
Interesting.
worlds.
Mm, totally. And so, I mean, well, And one more thing before we go take a quick break. What do you think about them coming back? Because I mean, it's good to see them returning, but before the pandemic, we're starting to see these award events drop in popularity. And I mean, we saw the TV ratings for the Emmys plummet last year to an all-time low of 6.9 million viewers. So
I like that they're coming back. I think a lot of people enjoy them, and I don't know, it's just kind of fun to watch award shows sometimes. I mean, I know some people are over it, but some people really enjoy it. So I don't know, no harm, I think. As long as no one gets sick, they seem to be they have a plan to social distance for the people who are there physically. I don't know, I don't see a problem with it. What about you, Kenny?
I like it. I actually think it may help for how many people tune in because it's a real change of pace. I feel like for these award shows, it's more or less the same thing every year, just different nominees. Kind of. I feel like if it's having this change where, like you said before, it's potentially more personalized. People get more of a glimpse into what their lives are like. I feel like potentially it could even raise how many people are viewing it.
Yeah, I think I might watch it just because I just want to see how badly it's gonna go. Like honestly,
Imagine like an announcer, like they just get like cut out, like, and the winner is, they're just gone. Their Wi-Fi goes out.
your Zoom call shuts down. Someone's dog is barking. We don't know whose it is, but they're not on mute. Like that's gonna be funny if that actually happens.
yeah, totally. All right. So with that being said, we're gonna take a quick break here on the Morning Buzz. I am George Jamgochin.
Joined by Leslie Gallagher and
Kenny Horn.
All right, we will take a break. We'll be right back. Please don't go away because we love having you. There we go.
there you go. I was like, dude, I cannot hear you.
Oh my God, that gave me a heart attack. Sorry about that.
Give me a heart attack too. I didn't know how to tell you. I was gonna be like, we should actually make a little hand signal for you're on mute.
Mhm.
But anyways, so we're gonna be talking about what's streaming in September 2020. So all these shows should be streaming by the end of September, since we're about midway through September, more than halfway through. But anyway, first thing up is a new series on Netflix called The Duchess. So apparently, Catherine Ryan stars as a single woman or a single mom who's weighing whether to have a child with her nemesis, her daughter's dad. Can two wrongs make a right? Second one is this is a TV miniseries on HBO Max, The Murders at White House Farm. This one's based on a true story. Over 30 years ago, 3 generations of one family were murdered at their isolated farm. Initial evidence pointed the finger at the daughter of the family who had a history of mental illness. One detective, however, refused to accept this and delved deeper into the investigation. This is a dramatized true crime story based on extensive research, interviews, and published accounts looking at the mystery behind what happened that fateful day. Next up is called Long Way Up, which will be on Apple TV+, starring and executive produced by Edwin McGregor and Charlie Borman. This series reunites the best friends after more than a decade since their last motorbike venture around the world. They journey through the glorious and underexposed landscapes of South and Central America and their most challenging expedition to date, using cutting-edge technology on the backs of their prototype electric Harley-Davidson bikes in order to contribute to the sustainability of the planet. Number 4, we've got Ratched. This one I'm personally the most excited about. This dramatic prequel to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest follows the character of Nurse Ratched, played by Sarah Paulson.
Ooh.
So excited. Really, really quick. Have either of you read that book?
Seen the movie, haven't read the book.
Read the
I
book.
haven't read a book since 5th grade.
Read the book. That's all I'm going to say. The last one is Away. This one will be brought on Netflix. This series is about a commander who leaves behind her husband and daughter to lead an international crew of astronauts on a perilous 3-year mission to Mars. That sounds interesting. But take it away with some classics that are coming back, George.
All right, yeah. So Grease is the word. It's the word. I can't sing. Is coming back on HBO Max. The Addams Family is coming on Amazon and Prime Hulu. Kramer versus Kramer, the 1979 Oscar-winning movie with Dustin Hoffman and Meryl Streep, is on Amazon Prime. Twilight, yeah, Robert Pattinson, Kristen Stewart, Taylor Lautner. We all know what that is. Hulu and IMDb TV, The Wedding Singer on HBO Max, 50 First Dates on Hulu, and The Hunger Games on IMDb TV. So with that being said, we have a lot of entertainment news coming up in the future. And also, we have, for the first time ever on the Morning Buzz, our entertainment contributor, Thomas Nero, who I also know from our freshman class. Thomas, you're on the air. How you doing?
Thank you so much. I'm great. I'm doing great. It's great to be here.
Great to be here. Yeah, totally. So tell us, what's going on in the world of entertainment?
All right. Well, recent movie release news. This past Wednesday, September 16th, The Devil All the Time released on Netflix. Got a lot of buzz on social media. For those who don't know, it is a thriller based on the 2011 novel by Donald Ray Pollock, following a set of characters living in the southern U.S. post-World War II. It is from New York filmmaker Antonio Campos and features a star-studded cast of Tom Holland, Robert Pattinson, Sebastian Stan, Eliza Scanlon from Little Women, Bill Skarsgård, otherwise known as Pennywise the Clown in It. And it looks to be real interesting. In TV releases, Woke recently premiered on Hulu. It's an 8-episode first season, which released on September 9th. About a Black cartoonist named Keith Knight who achieves national fame, but avoids controversial subject matter. Everything changes one day when he's racially profiled by police, and he begins to become more aware of racism and microaggressions in his everyday life, and inanimate objects begin talking to him. This interesting series mixes both live action and animation, and it stars Lamorne Morris as Keith Knight, who is best known for his role as Winston on New Girl.
I love him for New Girl. Sorry, I just wanted to say that.
All good, no problem. In music releases, Zeros by Declan McKenna recently dropped earlier this month on September 4th. Declan McKenna is a 21-year-old British singer-songwriter, and this is his second album, his first project as an artist since his debut album, What Do You Think About the Car, which released 3 years ago, so it's been a long time coming. The only other music he has to show between that time is a single he dropped last year called British Bombs, which is a single criticizing Britain's foreign policy. And also in Monclarian news for reviews and entertainment, Timothy Rebel published a review on a Norwegian comedy called Norseman, which recently released its 3rd season earlier this year on Netflix. The Viking series Rebel describes as equal parts Monty Python, The Office, and Game of Thrones. A very interesting description from Timothy Rebel, so it's definitely something I want to check out. Casey Masterson, Monclarian's feature editor, reviewed a YouTube video from a YouTuber named Jarvis Johnson. Jarvis Johnson, for those who may not know, has over 1 million subscribers and is known as a YouTube commentator. YouTube commentary community has been blowing up recently on the platform. And in the video, Johnson criticizes influencers and TikTokers who have been having parties during COVID. These influencers are impressionable, according to Johnson, among their young audiences, so they need to set a better example by not partying and adhering to social distancing guidelines. And Masterson, in her article, does a great job of incorporating both her own opinion and reviewing Johnson's video itself, and balances the two. And entertainment editor Sam Nungesser writes her own article about the John J. Kelly School of Music and the music students here at Montclair State, and how the music students have begun practicing on the upper floors of Red Hawk Deck. As students can't rehearse together inside the John J. Kelly School of Music, they're making most of it by utilizing the parking garage. And the article also does a great job of featuring quotes from both faculty and students in the music program and their hopes and promising feelings about the rest of the semester. And that's about all I have.
That's awesome. No, the Monclarian seems to be doing really well. I'm very excited for it. Out of all of the things you mentioned, Thomas, though, what is there any specific like album or movie show that you are looking forward to the most out of those, or maybe they're not your style? What's your opinion?
I'm really excited for The Devil All the Time.
So when you I was excited.
I am just a huge fan of Robert Pattinson. I'm going to say it. I enjoyed the Twilight movies. My girlfriend made me watch them, and they were actually very enjoyable. And everything he's been in after has been fantastic. I don't know if you've seen any of his work, but
The Lighthouse.
The Lighthouse, fantastic movie. A Good Time from the Safdie brothers, amazing movie. And the trailer for The Devil All the Time just looked fantastic. I haven't seen Tom Holland in a serious role, or any role really, since Spider-Man. So I think this would be a fantastic watch. I'm actually going to watch it next weekend with my friends.
That's a good plan. I'm excited for the things you talked about, especially because the movie's a thriller, right?
Yes,
I
it's supposed
love
to be.
They're my favorite type of movie.
I don't know if you.
What are you watching right now? Like, what are you currently binge watching between classes?
Well, the last series I watched was Money Heist on Netflix. I watched all 4 seasons, and wow, that is a fantastic show. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it's a show from Spain, and it's a heist show, and it does a really good job of reinventing the heist genre while also adding dramatic elements and personal relationships within the people in the crew. But I also am going to start watching the last season of Mr. Robot, because I watched the first few seasons and I just haven't seen the last season, and it should be on Amazon Prime, I think.
Now, maybe this is a silly question. I've never heard of Mr. Robot. What is that?
No silly question. Excellent question.
Freddie Mercury.
It is with Freddie Mercury. Rami Malek
Yeah, Rami Malek.
stars as a computer hacker who joins this weird underground hacking group led by a man named Mr. Robot. And without giving too much away, everything just completely blows out of proportion.
Oh, amazing.
And it's a great performance from Rami Malek. He won an Emmy for it, I believe, and a Golden Globe for his performance as Elliot.
Wow. You got really good taste, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awards this and da-da-da-da. And he was you're very well versed in your entertainment. I gotta get up to your level.
Thank you. I appreciate the validation. That means a lot to me. It makes it all worth it.
I mean, you were the Montclair Entertainment editor, so
Yes,
you gotta know your stuff, you know?
I do. After a while, you definitely pick up on things, especially if you've been entertainment editor for 3 semesters. But now I'm managing editor. But the wonderful Sam Dunn-Gesser is now entertainment editor, and she's just doing a great job right now.
So wow, you were the entertainment editor for 3 semesters, and now you're management. What?
Managing editor at the Montclarian. Yes.
Cool. It's good to have a change in pace too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
George, what have you been watching lately?
Baseball. I'm sorry, I haven't really been watching any Netflix shows recently. I did watch Tiger King during quarantine in April when it came out, as everyone else did. Also The Last Dance I watched, which is really good, which is about the 98 Bulls and their last quest for the NBA title. But yeah, so, I haven't been watching a lot, but I will catch up with a lot more stuff, hopefully, as time goes by. And yeah, I mean, Thomas, if you can recommend any of them, let me know. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
All right. Totally. So we're going to do one more story before we say goodbye here. So there's a McDonald's businessman who responds to the hurricane by giving away 10,000 free meals from a portable restaurant. So, Leslie, do you have the video on you right now?
You've disabled screen sharing, George.
Oh, okay. I'll just tell the story. My bad.
Well,
All right.
there was a video that I will describe it for you. Basically, it's a large time lapse of millions of cars going through what we're about to talk about, through the McDonald's thing that they've set up called a McRig, and there's just so many people going through it. It's a great video. But anyways, continue, George.
Yeah, so this is one of those good news stories that we all need in this moment. Even though us in New Jersey were not affected by Hurricane Laura, some other U.S. residents were. Thanks to the quick thinking of one generous McDonald's franchise owner, residents of storm-ravaged Lake Charles in Louisiana got to see what the company's mega version of Meals on Wheels was truly capable of. Laura is the most powerful hurricane to hit Louisiana since 1856, with widespread flooding, downed power lines, and extensive damage to homes and businesses. Residents were left without power, running water, and many other basic necessities. When Rakesh Patel, who owns and operates 25 McDonald's locations in the area, realized the storm's full impact the day Laura made landfall, he knew that he had to take action. He said himself that pictures don't quite capture the devastation and damage, and it's much worse in real life than what we are seeing in social media. Figuring hot meals would be hard to come by for those impacted by Laura's wrath, he made a call to corporate headquarters with a plea to help. The McRig, a ginormous, self-sustaining portable kitchen, was dispatched from a Kentucky location and arrived the following day. Patel and his restaurant staff kept the extreme food truck running for 6 days, serving 10,000 meals made up of McDonald's cheeseburgers, fries, and bottled water. We needed that.
Isn't that so incredible? Like sometimes I'm really thankful because like he really like thought outside the box and he took his position of power that he's in as a franchise owner, and he was like, well, what can I do to help these people? And then he did it, and that's amazing. For those of you watching on Facebook Live, you will see that I did manage to screen share the video. I figured it out, guys. We did it. Technology works.
Mr. Robot. I think Robbie Malek was behind that. I don't know, but
imagine. But yeah, it's incredible. These natural disasters are inevitable sometimes, but being a good, kind human, you can just, you got free will and you can do that,
Yeah, kindness goes a long way, and we could use a little bit of that in the world right now. So with that being said, yeah. So with that being said, this has been a production of the Morning Buzz with thanks to our friends and colleagues at the facilities of the School of Communication and Media on campus of Montclair University. I am George Jamgochian.
And I'm Leslie Gallagher with our news contributor,
Kenny Horn.
And our entertainment contributor, unmute your mic there,
Thomas Nera.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for listening. And remember, if WMSC is not in your radio, then your radio really is not. Bye-bye, everybody.